Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kurojiri, your resident tinkerer and Medarot, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Now, as we crest into the final week of the Bang Brave Bravern collaboration, it looks like we're certainly going to be ending off on a relatively high note with the introduction of the final model introduced in the collab, which they've actually kept under wraps pretty solidly and consistently over these last couple weeks. All we know of is that it exists, which is essentially just a powered-up version of the original Bravern, but we didn't quite know what it was capable of until today. It is featuring one brand new skill, and on top of that, we are still going to be getting one last round of very valuable and lucrative rewards. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week, starting of course with the gacha banners, which will be relatively light as we start into this final week, but still very powerful and worth investing in all the same. Starting the lineup with the main pickup bots that are going live. Of course, we are only getting one official new banner this week, and that is for the new model itself, which is BRV04 Be Brave Burn, which is the powered-up version of Bravern, with a kit of Brave Blast, Hypercharge Blade, Armor Drain, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Auto Charge. Now, much like all the other models previously, this model here, Powered Up Bravern, is only going to be introducing one brand new skill this time around, which, explained briefly, it now serves as an official antithesis to Sujigiri, which has been incredibly prevalent in current competitive meta for the longest time, especially with flash tactics. But now with this one, as long as you can outrun your enemy, you will basically be dealing the same amount of intended damage by attacking a forward-facing foe instead of a rear-facing one. To explain it briefly, triple damage if you attack a foe from the front, and half damage if you attack them if you're attacking someone rear-facing. Hypercharge Blade and Armor Drain, nothing new that we haven't seen yet, so still a relatively powerful kit all the same. But I am very interested to see if Brave Blast is going to be something new that we're going to be seeing in competitive meta, especially in a game of speed where if you can outrun your opponent, you've already won about 50% of the fight. Now, when it comes to boosted rate banners, which will be going live with the powered up Bravern, we'll be seeing CCR0 Black Lester, the Chuny Black cockroach type from Medarot Navi, with a kit of First Aid, Double Laser, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Auto Repair. We're also going to be seeing the new boss type from Medarot S, the Orochi type, YMT0 Yatsukubi Daisha, with Hyper Tornado, Mud Shot, Hyper Thunder Shot, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of Bloby. And as a friendly reminder, Yatsukubi Daisha is also the current and only wielder of the move Mud Shot, which will change the opponent's leg type to C upon attacking them successfully. Which means, hint hint, you are able to possibly use anti-C tactics much like you would Tornado and anti-air spam. But again, these are only boosted rates, so they will not have their own banners with their own boosted rate on their own. You will have a chance at either of these or anyone else in the current new pool anytime that you try to pull for Powered Up Bravern. In addition to this, all previous banners will be sticking around until the 11th of July. Same can be said for the collab models as well. Brave Burn, Warrior Pride, Pleasure Lust, Frenzy Wrath, they will be sticking around until the very last day of the collaboration. So, if you have been waiting to decide on which one that you want to particularly go for, well, this is going to be kind of your moment of truth to make sure you walk home with at least somebody of the collaboration as a prize and a commemorative reward for what you participated in. For the Fierce battles we have this week, it's going to be a little lower key as well, but still very mixed range, especially with a lot of ailments this week. Starting this top row here, we're starting off with HMS0 Jungarian with Radar Sight, Double Gatling, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Mascot. We have RAY04 Arago Star with triple beam, wheeled legs, and excel. And then we have KAP01 Kappa Lord with beam, double anti-C, C legs, and the leg ability of forestry. On this bottom row here, we're starting off with MDK0 Hemadacker with repair, double wave, C legs, and the leg ability of adapter. JEL0 Perudun Jelly with triple missile, tank legs, and the leg ability of fortress. And then last but not least, we also have CLB02 Side Move with hammer, conceal, guard, multi-C legs, and the leg ability of explorer. So we have a very mixed range of skills, as I said here, between the 6 models we have. And being completely honest with you, it was kind of tricky to figure out who would be a worthwhile MVP of the week, because being completely honest, none of these models are particularly overly powerful or like super breaking or absolutely someone you really need, but they're still worth collecting in your libraries to have all the same. That being said, I do have to give MVP of the week to both Kappa Lord and Perudun Jelly, primarily for their legs more than anything else. C legs with Forester gives them an extra mastery on forest terrain. Tank legs with Fortress means you're going to get some extra damage reduction on top of the already impressive damage reduction tank legs are going to give you. Everyone else is going to be kind of an on and off basis depending on if you need them or not. But if you are a brand new Medarot just starting out or still fairly early into your career as a Medarot, it still never hurts to get a hold of these parts just to have them on hand in a just-in-case scenario. Hemadacker with adapter on the legs also is a pretty solid option as well, especially for female models if you're looking for a little bit of variety and can't quite match the terrain as well as you would hope. With the event, we're getting one last round on Wave 3 of the collaboration as we wrap things up this week and prepare to say farewell to Bravern and friends. This time around, with this collaboration, we have the opportunity to earn one last limited time medal, the Horse Medal, as you see here, which has a mastery in melee, shooting, and support, but leg mastery in biped, flight, and sea. Now, something else that's kind of caused me to scratch my head is why it's a horse medal but doesn't have multi-ped mastery, but that's not really a question for me, just more something I'm just kind of wondering. But anyway, we also have the opportunity to earn one last commemorative profile banner, as you see here, featuring a powered-up Bravern. We also can earn additional voice lines for Bravern and Warrior Pride, which are two of the gacha models that we've been able to collect thus far. We can also earn more limited time gacha tickets through this last run of the event, which give us boosted rates for any of the current gacha models, not the gacha models, but rather for the boosted rate banner for the bots that have been highlighting with each. And we can also earn other limited time rewards such as rubies and other Ascension resources. This event, as we round out, will be going off on a relatively powerful note as it will feature Boss Fight. Explaining briefly, Boss Fight means upon the completion of a dungeon round, you have an opportunity to spawn a Boss Fight encounter. You can stack these encounters, so you can stack up to 10 while you farm the event, and then just go do all the boss encounters all at once, and then just repeat until you get all the rewards. That being said, it is going to be heavily encouraged that pure sets are going to be your go-to when you're building teams. For the main primary dungeon, the boosted reward bonuses will be given to Frenzy Wrath and Pleasure Lust, primarily at 15% per part, a 9% per part for Blackluster, Yakutubi Daija, and Attractor per part, and the Fierce Battles at a 6% per part each. For the Medaroters, it'll be a 10% bonus for the SR versions of Arase, Hisaki, or Nozomi, a 5% bonus for the R rank, and a 3% bonus for the N rank, respectively. For the boss fight bonuses, which will be slightly different, it'll be giving those primary bonuses to Bang Bravern, which is the 15% bonus per part, Bravern and Warrior Pride at a 9% bonus per part each, and the Collab Medaroters Arase and Hisaki at a 20%. Now, one other reminder, for when it comes to the boss fight encounter and the regular encounter, now the boss fight bonuses will be slightly less. I want to not overly impressive, but still enough to net you a pretty fair bonus. So you could probably get away with this with just one full team for it if you did collect all the models through the collab. But if you've only collected one or two, I might heavily encourage that you probably build 2 teams, one of which for your primary dungeon farming and one for your boss encounters. And one other reminder for boss encounters, They are going to be a little tricky once you get into those higher stages, so do make sure that you are properly raised and ready for it, because those might catch you off guard, especially if they are a limited time encounter before you can farm more again. One last thing to mention with the event as well, we are getting one last round of a Super Invasion featuring Bravern himself, as well as one last round of event missions, which is basically more opportunities for Ruby Shards and Gacha tickets. For the Super Invasion, I highly expect it's going to be just as easy as the first one. Go in with your primary PvP team, Tornado, Anti-Air Spam, Countdown, your highest power, whatever you decide. Go in there and sweep it, since they very likely will just have overclocked medals. Call it a day with your reward and your profile plate, as you see here. With the community front, we are still always looking for translators to assist us with any current projects or endeavors. Right now, Medarot 3 is more or less at that 99.998% completion. All it needs is just some last-minute grammar checks and just a couple other bugs in the debug menu and a couple other places, and we can officially mark it as complete. Work has already started more earnestly on Medarot 4, and we'd love to start working on other projects like 5 and Navi and so on, but we need assistance to be able to do so. So if you are knowledgeable in coding, cleaning, Japanese, or if you know somebody who is with some time on their hands, feel free to reach out to us or join our Discord in the link provided below. Ask around and we'll get you in touch with the right people to fill you in on what has been done and what still needs done up to this point. One other thing I am going to mention though, because it has been a fairly recent development in the last couple days. I have been having some assistance from a very dear friend of mine in the Discord server as we create a new master list of actions and medals and natures, primarily because, as some of you may be aware, the English wiki for Medarot S has been down for a number of months now. Not a really big deal because we still can access the information on the JP wiki, but it is a little of a juggle, especially with the language barrier. So that's where a friend of mine has been coming in and taking it upon himself to fill in a lot of blanks and create a master list for the actions and for the medals, full master medals list and medal natures refresher that is available in our Discord server and on the handy beginner guide in the link below to the Google Drive. Just as a friendly reminder, on that drive as well is my beginner's guide, any other tips or tricks, my Super Invasion strategy guide, which gives you all the modifiers and the bots in each round. This is the easiest place you're going to find all the information necessary for wanting to learn how to play. Thank you so much to my dear friend King for what you've been doing. I'm so immensely thankful for you to be able to take that off my plate, alongside all the other stuff I've had to work on while I manage the channel. Now, at the weekly art highlights here on the MNN, I did also want to highlight these wonderful pieces here. This one here by Twitter user Ramunetubu. And honestly, I found this piece yesterday, actually, fairly recently, but it's just so highly detailed. Like, I'm honestly just in awe every time I look at this, how well detailed and blended the colors are, the background, the very incredible detail of the water and the area around Medley. It's a fantastic piece. I really can't emphasize that enough. It's a wonderful piece. Highly recommend giving them a follow. As well as my friend Moen at MoenCHSci, a very, very dear friend of mine who manages the unofficial fan page on Twitter as well for Medarot. Highlights a lot of fan art and projects, much like I do, but also as an artist themselves as well. This piece here by them as well, featuring everyone's favorite Yellow Beetle type throwing one of his iconic tantrums. It's honestly very endearing, and I just can't emphasize and encourage enough to support my dear friend Moen for what they do. Definitely give both of these artists a follow if you'd like to see more of their stuff in your feeds. One other friendly reminder, I am always open for commission for anyone that is looking for to have some art done. I can do live 2D models ready to rig. I cannot rig them, unfortunately. As you see here by my own model, which I did hand draw, and a friend of mine's Bionicle OC, which I'm still in the middle of actually rendering into 3D. On the topic of 3D, I can also do fully scaled models as well on that front, fully rigged, textured, modeled, and UV mapped, ready to go. Drag and drop in any program of your choice, and you can basically plug and play. I can also do 3D props as well. I can do standard 2D art at varying degrees, which I may or may not sometimes do on art streams. I also do emotes, as you see here, very simple and very expressive for what you want. So if you'd like to know more, you can reach out to me on Twitter or on Discord and ask about it. We can most certainly try to make something happen. On the topic of art streams, though, I do have a couple days off this coming week, so I am able to properly coordinate some streams in the downtime. I did host a poll on Twitter over the last couple days on what you'd like to see on my day off, much like I did say on Sunday if you guys tuned in for that recent stream of Dark Cloud 2. So it looks like you guys want to see another Ori meta stream done, so that is exactly what I'll be doing. Tune in with me tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another art stream as we will pull up the random Medarot kit generator, pop some numbers in there, and see just what we can come up with, much like we did with other models of the past. I did have a lot of fun doing that with you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing just what you come up with yet again. I'm really hoping for a lot of engagement, much like we did the last couple times as well, so we can try to make something really creative and unique. And on Sunday, this coming Sunday, on 6:30, also at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be finally, at long last, wrapping up the my adventures in Balance Valley in Dark Cloud 2. Finally spent a number of sessions just kind of farming weapons and raising everything and getting all the medals in previous levels, and a lot of space-time golf, unfortunately. But I'm now at a point where I think I'm ready to continue on with the adventure. So we'll be able to say farewell to Balance Valley and head off into the next direction of our adventure. Tune in with me at 3 p.m. Eastern Time this coming Sunday to follow in on that adventure. But with all that being said, I do believe that covers everything for this week's episode, so as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in. If you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabots Forever community on there that I do also manage, and currently is skyrocketing well into the 26,000 members and still growing by the day. It honestly boggles me how fast that community has been growing just in the past several months to year alone, in the almost 8 years that the community has been up and running on there. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below if you want to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any links to merchandise, fan art, contests, translation projects, or anything else of the like. That's the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else on the net. Lastly, you can also follow me on Twitter at ItsuGamiKura if you have any questions, feedback, or comments, or would love just to stop in and say hello. I leave my DMs open on purpose for that very reason. Additionally, if you are a streamer, VTuber, or content creator of any kind, any size, you can be just starting out or be well seasoned in your adventure in career as a content creator, I would absolutely love to coordinate something with you. Whether it means having you here at the news desk with me on a Sunday to coordinate some meta news, or if you'd like to have me stop in on your channel for a friendly game, or even a collaboration, or even a group game or something, I would love to make something happen with you. Feel free to reach out to me on Twitter in those DMs, and we can most certainly try to make something happen. Finally, give these wonderful users in the Medarot community a follow as well. Twitter user MetaAxe and Twitter user Marukata. For those that are unaware, these are some very well-known designers and artists in the Medarot community. Marukata especially has been around for a while, with some wonderfully original designs that they've come up with over the past few recent years. And MetaAxe as well has been wonderful for their 8-bit art as well. And fun fact, actually was the winner for the Medarot 8 content, Ori Meta contest, which gave us Time Faller. So wonderful art on both ends as well. And just as a friendly reminder on that as well from MetaAxe, they were also one of the ones that gave feedback to Horomorin himself on the 8-bit style of design that introduced us to Bosan a number of weeks ago. But with all that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Itsugami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.